Hi, welcome to Child Development 150. My name is Julie and I will be the instructor for the rest of the 60 weeks on this online class. This video is going to be an introduction to the class, the syllabus, and also the format on Canvas. So I'll go over the syllabus in depth with you guys. I'll also show you how I've structured the class on Canvas. For some of the other requirements, there'll be additional videos that you might want to watch as well. So I'm just trying to kind of break up the videos. This one's just going to be about the syllabus and how I do the class online. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go to our syllabus and share the screen. So now you should be seeing the syllabus. It will also be online. So in the first module on Canvas, this syllabus will be online for you to download or to save or to print. It's really up to you. So for the syllabus, I'm just going to start out and I'm going to read through it in order to give you as much information. So this is my email. This is my Palomar email. I also teach at Cal State in the Human Development Department, and I also teach at Mount San Jacinto College as well. So it's really important that you use this email to do any kind of official correspondence with me. And also please include the Child Development CHDV 150, that right there, in the subject heading. That really allows me to filter your email so that I am responding to you appropriately and in a timely manner. It tells me which class you're in, especially if you have a more common name. Your name could be in a 100 or at another college as well, and I don't want to give you misinformation or wasting your time by not responding to you in the appropriate way. So please do Child Development 150 in the subject heading. Also, it's really important that you use your Palomar student email when communicating with me, especially if it's anything official having to do with the college, grades, assignments. It needs to come from your student's email. That way we know that it's an official correspondence between instructor and students. I also will email you an announcement once a week on Monday morning when we start that week's learning opportunities. I'm going to tell you exactly what needs to be done in the week and also keep track of making sure that you are doing some of your longer term assignments as well. So check your student email regularly. Only use that email to correspond with me. And if it's not something that you're going to check regularly, you know, if you're working full time, you're only taking one class a semester, you probably don't think about checking your student email that much. Have it forwarded to your personal email so that you see my emails and you see official correspondence from Palomar as well. For example, in 2017, when we were having those terrible fires, Palomar was a Red Cross evacuation site, and they also needed to shut down some of the classrooms and classes when we were having those fires. So that's the type of thing that they're going to communicate straight to your student email. So checking that regularly or having it forwarded to an email that you do check is really important. Since I'm part-time adjunct here and at other universities and colleges, I don't have my own office, but I am more than happy to meet with you virtually or in person. We have Zoom, which is a great virtual way for us to communicate. I often call people on the phone as well. Or we can meet in person. Just email me and I'm more than happy to meet with you guys and make sure that you're feeling really supported in this class. We also have a developmental web page as well, and this goes into our child development information. It's also a great place for us to post employment opportunities. Many of you are working in the field or wanting to transition into this field, so we always have a lot of employment pages up there. If I see anything that's a director position, assistant director, or anything that really applies to the administration and management part of this job, I will always post an announcement on our Canvas page as well with any ways that you could advance your career or anything like that specific to being a director. I just want to go over the text. We have this text administration of programs for young children. It's a good text. It's a great introduction to the ideas of supervision, management, administration, and supervision of early childhood education programs. And my class is built on this textbook. Go ahead and find it and rent it, find it, buy it on Amazon. And the edition for me doesn't matter as much. I think it's a good text, but find it in the way that is most affordable for you. In this class, though, we're really going to make sure that we are going over basic management principles, and it'll be very licensing focused as well. I, like many people who have run centers in the community, have been hit by licensing before. Didn't happen very often, but when it did, I am trying to avoid that for you guys. So whenever I'm talking about management, I'm typically also trying to help you run the best program that you can and work with licensing in the best way possible. I do want to just make sure that you are aware of this part though. This class partially fulfills the requirements for administration for the site supervisor and program director child development permit issued by the State of California Commission on Teaching Credential. So it only partially fulfills it. It does fulfill the Title 22 licensing regulations for directors. You need a class like this in order to meet licensing regulations, and this class does. So in this class, we're going to talk a lot about organizing yourself, your time, and the people who work for you, budgeting, evaluation. We write tons and tons of policies and procedures. We talk about employer rights. We do a lot in this class. This is going to be a busy 16 weeks. I'm excited to do it with you guys. I'm excited to support you and offer feedback with you as well. So I do want to just talk about some of my class policies. I've talked about you guys are going to be writing policies and procedures either for where you work already as a director, or hopefully maybe you're trying to make the transition to being a director and you need to think critically about the next steps that you're going to take and how you might run a center in the future. So my policies, first and foremost, have to do with class attendance and punctuality. I open my class content on Monday morning at 6 a.m. and it closes that Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. on Canvas. So I will release a lecture video. I will release a reading, and either an additional reading or a textbook reading for you guys to read. And then we have a weekly assignment and a discussion board as well. The discussion board is not graded. It is a learning co-space is kind of the philosophy that I'm going with. It's where we're going to share tips, tricks, hacks, ways that you've done parent manuals, ways that you've supported yourself and others in using the food program, the USDA's food program. So it's really a space for you to pass on things that you've learned and then learn from other people who are very specifically in your field. A lot of times when we go to conferences and things like that, we hear from people in management that might be working at Apple or Google or at a school district or something like this. This is a fantastic class in that we're all working in early childhood education programs. There is a lot of diversity within that, but we all do have to kind of deal with the same licensing regulations, food program regulations, that type of stuff. This is an awesome opportunity if you're struggling in an area or you're just amazing in a certain area to share and to learn from others. So it's not graded, but it's highly, highly recommended that you go to the discussion boards every week. Watching the lectures is going to be really important because the lectures are going to be what helps you write your weekly assignment. So each week you have to write a weekly assignment. It's worth 10 points, and it is our policies and procedures that you will need for your director file and your parent manual as well. So we'll be writing mission statements. We'll be writing policies and procedures for parents about health and safety. We're going to be writing a lot of different policies and procedures. Instead of asking you to do it on your own, you're going to do it every week, and then I will try to offer feedback to you throughout those assignments. Once I open them, though, in this assigned readings assignment, this is where I am right now, it is expected that you guys, for this 3-credit course, are committing to spending a minimum of 9 hours per week in course preparation readings assignments. In this case, since I open modules on Monday and I close them on Sunday, you have 7 days in order to do it. I know most of you are professionals, you're going to be working at night and on weekends, and that's why I have it open until Sunday night. Once that Sunday night closes, the assignment can no longer be made up, though. Obviously, if you have a child in the hospital, you get into a car accident, something like that, if you communicate with me as soon as you possibly can about the extenuating circumstances, I am happy to work with you with a doctor's note or some kind of corroboration. If you don't and you just missed it, that's fine. 10 points here or there is probably not going to impact your grade. You're consistently missing the work, though. You're consistently missing the lectures and the assignments and things like that. That is going to start impacting the knowledge base that you have in this course and your grade as well. Those weekly assignments that are worth 10 points cannot be made up unless you speak with me first. We do have other projects, which are specifically the director's file and the parent manual. Those, if they are late, are reduced by an automatic 50%, and it still must be submitted within 2 weeks of the due date. Since I have over 200 students, I can't have very extended amounts of time in which I am able to give to you because I am on a certain schedule with everything moving together. So if you have the director's file, the parent manual, and the director observation, director interview, all need to be turned in on time or it will be reduced by 50% of the total points, and then it still must be turned in within 2 weeks. I do want to talk a bit about plagiarism. This class does not have a research paper, but I do want you to be aware of what APAA style is. It's important that we know how to write effectively and communicate effectively as directors, assistant directors, or anybody who's running a program. We need to be able to write clearly and effectively, and APA will help you do that. That being said, we don't have a research paper in this specific one, but I do want you to know that plagiarism still counts. So if you are writing your diversity statement or mission statement, or you're doing a health and safety paper, or any of the things that we write in this class, plagiarism still does matter. So if you didn't think of the concept yourself, if you're taking it word from word, you still need to use the plagiarism APA style in order to source it and cite it. So if you're using NIAC's ethical code of conduct or something like that, you're going to need to source it and use APA style as needed. So no paraphrasing or using other students' work or appropriating or copying and pasting, all of that stuff. If you are still using it within the context of management, you still need to make sure that you're using our APA. So as far as the discussion board, I said that it wasn't graded, but it's really important that you guys participate and start to make this learning community. You get out what you put into this class. So if you want to learn more and deepen your practice as a director, the discussion boards are going to be a great place to do that. I do want to caution everybody that you are polite, respectful, and courteous whenever you are on the discussion boards. I'm there Monday through Friday, at least every day. I check and make sure that people are posting. I add my own posting and replies as well. So if you'd like to interact with me as somebody who was a director for over 5 years, ask me questions or me ask you questions, please be on the discussion boards Monday through Friday of every week. That is when I'm around. I do not check the discussion boards on Saturdays or Sundays after the business days have completed. I also want to caution you about emotional tone. If you've ever been online, you know that it's hard to be flippant or sarcastic or humorous or make jokes online. If you do, please use your emojis and just really reread what you've written to make sure that your tone has been conveyed and it's not coming off as flippant or mean-spirited or anything like that. And anything that's considered disrespectful or inappropriate, I will remove and it will not be tolerated as well. You are going to, I do want to go over some more issues with Palomar as well. So we do have disability services. So if you have a verified disability, please reach out to me within the first 2 weeks of class. I love to make accommodations and to be accommodating as much as possible in my classes, and this being an online space. Please reach out to me so we can make sure that your tests are done appropriately or you're given the time required that you need. And if you feel like maybe you're struggling in school and you need some additional support as well, Disability Services is an incredibly welcoming and supportive space. So if you felt like you needed some additional support at Palomar, going to our Disability Resource Center, here's the phone number and the website as well. They're a fantastic starting place to make sure that you're being supported here while you're on your learning journey. Same as well with our tutoring and resource services. They're on all of our campuses. So we have a new Rancho Bernardo campus and a new Paula campus, as well as our Escondido and San Marcos campuses. We have learning and learning centers or learning resource centers, TLC centers. So there's writing centers as well. So as I was talking about effective writing, clear writing, if you feel like that's an area that you need support in, use the free service that Palomar has. You paid your money per unit. This is available to you completely for free. So please get out there and use it, especially if you professionally are trying to grow yourself, grow your practice, and grow your program. Being able to write really well is going to help you, so you might as well go where we can support you. When I started my educational journey, it was over at Maricosta Community College, and I needed a lot of support in math in order to get transfer ready. I was really struggling in my algebra classes, and after a while of putting it off and almost not passing, getting like C minuses, barely by the skin of my teeth passing, I finally got myself to the Math Resource Center, and I got a lot of help that I needed in order to do algebra and things like that so that I could transfer to a four-year university. So using whatever we have is going to be so important to you as you grow educationally and professionally in class. So once again, this is a totally online class. If you're watching this video, you've made it online and you are now onto Canvas. But I just also wanted to bring up to your attention that I can help with the structure of my class technically and all that type of stuff. When it comes to login, passwords, access to things like that, information services at Palomar and academic technology resource center, ATRC, is going to be your best bet for help with all of those technological issues. Here is their website as well. They are the ones that are going to help you get access if you're having issues with Canvas or your password. So once again, I can only really communicate with you via your Palomar student email, so it's really important that you either forward it to your personal, check it regularly, and then make sure that when you're emailing me, it's with your Palomar email and it's got child development 150 in the subject line. I do want to bring up Canvas grades. I love Canvas grades. Gone are the days of stacks of paper. Everything is submitted through Canvas. I get automatic plagiarism checks on whatever you write. And as well as that, it'll kind of track your grade. But I do want to bring that up in that it doesn't do a lot of like decimal points, and sometimes it can be off. It either underinflates or overinflates. So if you're really concerned about your grade, the best thing to do is tally your points that you're getting offline and then compare it to this rubric that I have down here. This is what's going to actually tell you if you have what your passing grade is or not. Typically, I've noticed that it underinflates it and you'll end up doing better than you thought. But what I do is I take all the points that you've accumulated, I take it offline, I put it on Excel, and then I check everybody's grade to make sure it's correct before then I post it online with Palomar. So I take grading really seriously, and I try to give you the fairest and best grade that you've earned throughout the semester, and then make sure that it's calculated correctly as well. So if you're concerned about that, go a little bit analog, go offline, and check it against this rubric that I have done. So I talked about the class structure, and I'll go over that when I show you the actual Canvas shell that I have, but I did want to talk briefly about some other course requirements that I have. We'll have a director's file, a parent manual, a director interview, a quiz, and then we'll have the online assignments and assessments, and then we'll also have a final as well. So the director's file is really going to be where you're going to take all of the policies and procedures that we've written throughout the class and compile it in one space. So every week when you write something, a policy or procedure, save it. Save it on Dropbox, save it on Google Drive, save it on a Word file. It's just somewhere electronic that's easy for you to get it. And this is a best practice in all classes that you take. Whatever you turn in, save it in a specific spot till the end of the class, just in case something ever happened. In this case, towards the end of the class, you're just going to be compiling it with a table of contents to make it more readable. And then from there, you're going to have a fantastic electronic director's file that has most of the policies and procedures you would need in order to run a center professionally out in the community. So really the most important thing I want you to remember is every time you submit something on Canvas, save it on Dropbox, Google Drive, a file, something like that, so that at the end of the class when we are doing this assignment, you have them already saved already. You probably just have to do a table of contents and maybe edit a little bit more. We're also going to have a parent manual, and same thing, we'll write a lot of the health policies, safety policies, a lot of the things that we'd need for a parent manual. If your program doesn't have one, we'll be writing it together. So once again, you're just going to save all of that materials in order to, at the end or kind of halfway through the semester, you're going to put them together in a specific format that I'll give you on a PowerPoint in order to kind of make a really engaging and fun parent manual. You'll also do one out-of-class interview with an early childhood program. So you're going to go and you're going to find a director and you're going to interview that person. And I'm going to give you a lot more information on that in a separate video as well. We'll also have one quiz and one final exam. There's no makeup for the exams. The quiz will be about halfway through and it'll be on employee rights. It's easy. It's just designed for you to make sure that you are honoring the rights that your employees have, both legally and professionally in your center. And then we'll have a final exam at the end, which is very easy as well. It's essays. What I'm going to go ahead and do is I'll release a bunch of essay questions the week before in order to give you the opportunity to research and think about your questions. And I'll choose 4 to 5 of those questions, and that will be your final exam, due Friday, December 14th. It's due Friday. Then each week we'll have 13 online assignments, and each week you'll be writing, like I said, those policies and procedures that will then make up your director's file and parent manual. So that is it. I did write out a class schedule for you guys. So this is our agenda with everything that we're going to be working on: family, child care, employment, staff supervision, budgeting and funding, food and nutrition. Every week we're really doing a lot, and so my lectures are going to give you a lot of that course content and things that you need to know. And then each Sunday at 11:59 will be an online assignment. In addition to that, we have the quiz, the director's interview, the parent manual, and the director's file. And then once again, that final exam is not due Sunday, it's due Friday. The final exam is due Friday. The final exam is due Friday, December 14th. Why am I saying this so many times? Because people get confused, especially you guys are professionals, you're probably working in the classroom or as directors already. Write it down right now that I'm talking to you. I'm looking you in the eye and I'm telling you, put it on your agenda, put it in your phone, put it on a sticky note, put it on your refrigerator. The final exam is on Canvas and it's due Friday night, December 14th. I don't want you to miss out on that part of the class because life got really busy around the holidays for you. So please just know that the last day of the semester is the 12/14. I'm giving you into the last day, but I need to have it due on Friday at 11:59 on December 14th. So please write that down so that you're not taken unawares. That happens every semester. It breaks my heart when people don't do the final exam when they've done so well in the class. All right, so that is the syllabus. Right now, what I'm going to do is I am going to go to Canvas. All right, so when you get to the dashboard on Canvas, it's gonna look something like this. So this is my dashboard. I'm taking an information literacy class, I'm taking a Canvas class, and then I also teach Child Development 100 classes. For you guys, I made it really easy. So when you go to your dashboard, it literally says Child Development 150. Advanced Administration and Management for Early Childhood Directors. Sign on it, make sure you're on the right class. Here you are. This is what my welcome page looks like. Here is the syllabus for this class. This is where we'll meet if we ever have virtual office hours. So email me, we'll come up with a time that meets for both of us. Typically it's in the evenings or weekends since I know you guys work and so do I. So we'll find a time and then we typically meet in this space, or I'll email you with the particulars of how we could virtually have office hours. Once again, I'm always willing to call you on the phone, or I'm always willing to meet you at Starbucks or on campus, whatever kind of works for both of us. So that's the welcome part. Then we also have our Child Development Success Guide. So this has all of our permit information. So if you're looking at the different permits that the state of California offers, it's also got a bunch of success tips as well. So it's a really long PDF. You can get it this way. It's totally free. It's for us by the department. It's from us by the department in order to support you as you are a child development student here at Palomar. It is 76 pages, totally for free in a PDF here. If you wanted to print it out, please don't do it on your own. It would be really expensive. I think it's $3 or $4 already printed and bound for you at the bookstore. You don't have to buy it. It's just, I know some people like paper copies of things, so we've got the student success guide at the bookstore if you need it. All right, so I've also got some Palomar information for you guys. We've got a map of the support services and then where everything is located, like maps and things like that. All right, so we also have on Canvas, I've got this interview assignment. So it'll look something like that. If you click on any of the modules, it will tell you what's going on. So when you're going to interview a director, here is the assignment. Here are the guidelines about visiting and observing at centers. And here's the written instructions. I'm going to have a video specifically on the interview and assignment. And same thing, I'll have another video specifically about the director as file as well. So you can see me talk specifically about that. But each week, this is what each week is going to look like. I try to make it as clear as possible. So week 1 is just an introduction. Here will be our lecture video, which will be an overview and introduction of the class. Then the class starts on August 20th. So by August 26th at 11:59, you'll have to have completed your first assignment, which is to write a short policy on a short couple paragraphs on leadership styles, what kind of leader or manager you are. In the discussion board, I'm going to introduce myself, my family, my 3 kids, my husband, my professional experience, my time working as a director, both on Camp Pendleton and out in the community as well. And then I'll also always give you an additional reading as well. So this is from a fantastic book called The Child Care Administrator, and it's a specific little paragraph about how you manage, because we're going to start off the class being a little bit philosophical and thinking about leadership and management, and then we're really going to take a deep dive into how you practically run your program on a daily basis when you're working with young children. All right, so that's kind of what it looks like. So each week we'll have a little bit different. So the week after that, you'll write a mission statement and diversity statement. I am still working on this class, so it will look a little bit different once I'm completely done on it. But I know that the beginning will look like this. You'll have welcoming, child development information, Palomar information. I'll show you what the interview looks like and what the director's file looks like in 2 separate videos. And then week 1 will look like this with your lecture, your assignment, your discussion board, and then an additional reading as well. So that is Canvas. I hope that you guys are excited and amped about creating this learning space with me over the next 16 weeks. This is probably one of my favorite classes to teach because being a director is so challenging and it's so hard and it's so rewarding at the same time. I loved being a director. I spent most of my time as a director on Camp Pendleton working with military families, and I was really blessed to have some fantastic mentors who really taught me about how to work hard to be the best manager and supervisor and leader that you can for your programs. I also love it because this class is so practical. So much of what we do lies in the details, and so much of the care that we give to young children lies in the practical application of day-to-day work that we do. So I think that's why I like this class, is because we can really dive deep into how do we run the best programs possible for the children in our lives. All right, that's it for this video. I'll see you in some other videos, and then I'll see you weekly in our discussion boards and in our lecture videos as well. Thank you.